There comes a moment in life where the loudest noise around you is people's opinions, judgments, comments, and expectations. At that time, Allah is calling you to step back, keep silent, and focus on yourself. Not out of weakness, but out of wisdom. Not because you have no reply, but because your growth is too important to waste on defending yourself. When you stop reacting to the noise and you start working on your heart, you will discover a peace that is far more powerful than words. Silent focus protects your peace and energy because every time you react to negativity, you waste emotional fuel that could have been used for your goals. When you choose silence, you are not running away. You are choosing strength over noise. You are proving that you value your state of mind more than winning arguments. True, successful people are not busy explaining, defending, or arguing. They are busy working. They use their silence as a filter to decide what deserves attention and what does not. Silence protects your heart from useless conversations, and it keeps your energy fully invested in becoming better. There are people who speak only to provoke, not to benefit. Their purpose is not to understand you, but to disturb your inner balance. When you react to such people, you give them control over your emotions. The wise person learns to read the intention behind the words. Some statements are not invitations for productive discussion. They are traps designed to pull you into conflict. When you ignore such voices, you are not being passive. You are mastering self-control. Your silence is a clear message that your peace is more expensive, and you refuse to let someone else dictate your emotional state. Allah knows the intention of your heart even before you express it. People may misjudge you based on one moment, one sentence, or one action, but Allah sees the whole journey, every reason, every hidden battle. You do not need to explain yourself to every person who forms an opinion about you. The Creator who watches your sacrifices, your tears, your private prayers, and your silent patience is enough. When a believer understands that Allah is the ultimate witness, they stop chasing approval from those whose knowledge is limited. Allah's acknowledgement, acceptance, and reward is more valuable than any praise or validation from people. Speaking less and remembering Allah more brings spiritual clarity. When the tongue is busy with unnecessary talk, the mind becomes scattered and the heart becomes distracted. But when a believer fills their silent moments with dhikr of Allah, their heart begins to breathe again. This is where inner calm grows. Every Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, La ilaha illa Allah, and Allahu Akbar cleans the inside and washes away stress. The world is already loud, filled with opinions, arguments, and pressure. Dhikr lowers that noise and guides the heart back to purpose. The more you remember Allah, the more stable and peaceful your thoughts become. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave us a very practical rule for daily life. If you have something good, kind, and beneficial to say, then speak. But if the words will harm, hurt, offend, or bring no benefit, then remaining silent is better. This teaching protects both you and others. Many conflicts, arguments, and broken relationships begin with a sentence that should never have been spoken. Silence in such moments is not weakness. It is wisdom that prevents damage. This guidance trains the believer to think before speaking, to pause before reacting, and to speak only when the words bring goodness. When you become dedicated to improving yourself, your inner priorities change. You stop wasting time on arguments, comparison, and defending your actions. Your heart becomes occupied with growth, discipline, and personal goals. When your day is filled with Quran, prayer, learning, building skills, and becoming a better version of yourself, negativity becomes irrelevant to you. You no longer even feel the need to respond to every comment or opinion. You see how precious your hours are, and you use them wisely. Maturity is when you invest your time into progress, not into proving anything. Real development naturally reduces reactions and increases focus. Real growth is when you stop checking what people think and start checking what Allah thinks. People's approval changes daily. One day they praise, another day they criticize. But Allah's standard is constant, and His reward is eternal. When your priority becomes pleasing Allah, you stop carrying the heavy burden of people's opinions. You speak with sincerity, act with sincerity, and live with sincerity. This creates a deep freedom inside you. You are not chasing likes, validation, or applause. You are chasing the pleasure of the one who created you. Success in this life and the next comes from alignment with divine purpose, not public opinion. Silence becomes a shield when it protects you from unnecessary arguments, gossip, and drama. Many conversations are not based on facts or understanding. They are based on assumptions and emotions. When you choose silence, you refuse to pour fuel on the fire. You keep the situation calm instead of making it worse. This is especially important in family issues, friend circles, or online discussions where words can quickly get twisted. Silence communicates maturity and emotional intelligence. The one who controls his tongue controls his peace. Silence allows you to observe, understand, and respond wisely later, instead of reacting instantly and regretting later. Focusing on your own progress means choosing internal improvement over external arguments. It means using your time to learn, to reflect, to fix your habits, to purify your heart, and to increase your good deeds. When you invest your energy in personal growth, you start realizing how little benefit there is in trying to convince others. People judge without knowledge, but Allah rewards effort. Every hour spent on becoming better is an hour that brings you closer to your goals and closer to Allah. You do not need to show your change to the world. Real improvement is seen by Allah first, and then naturally reflected in your actions. Let your character be your voice. You do not need long explanations, long defenses, or long responses. When a believer is consistent in good manners, respectful communication, responsible behavior, honest dealings, and sincere worship, the world will eventually see it. There is a difference between someone who talks about goodness and someone who lives goodness. Allah will show your growth through your actions. People will notice the calmness in your behavior, the discipline in your routine, and the wisdom in your silence. Results speak louder than arguments. When your actions become proof, your silence becomes powerful, and your life becomes your strongest message. If you want real peace, actions must become louder than reactions. Focus on your personal growth. Build your connection with Allah, and let your success become your response. Life becomes lighter when you stop explaining yourself to people and start explaining your heart to Allah. Your silence is not empty. Your silence is strategy. May Allah make us people of wisdom and inner calm. Comment below, may Allah purify my heart. For more reminders, like, share, subscribe to Graceful Deen.